So the kids are back at school after summer holidays. There's a little bit of a chill in the air. The leaves on the ground are very crispy, and pretty much all the shops on the high street have Halloween decorations in, which means it's only time for one thing. It's almost Hull Fair 2025. Good morning and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to what will be, just behind me, the site of Hull Fair 2025 in just 18 short days. So in 18 days from now, on October the 10th, there will be one of Europe's largest travelling fun fairs on this Walton Street car park just behind me. As you can see, there's nothing happening right now, but there's a reason I visited today, and I'll tell you that now. What I want to do this year is show the progress of the pull on and the build up from scratch, and that is why I visited today, because there's literally nothing here today. As I say, 18 days to go until the fair opens, so in the next sort of probably three or 4 days, things will start to arrive. It looks like there is a tiny bit of activity going on just behind me now with Hull City Council vans. They might just be checking fences or things like that, but very, very early days. But in the next few days, there will be some attractions starting to arrive. So I thought I'll come today, show you the site as it is now, as a blank canvas. And then hopefully, once, I'm going to be checking every day. So once things do start to arrive, I'll be doing daily, hopefully daily, updates on the build-up. And this will continue until opening day, where we'll be here on Friday the 10th of October for opening night of Hull Fair. So the whole build-up and everything that keeps arriving, I will hopefully show you. And the reason that I want to show you it in more regular sort of intervals is that you'll be able to see the progress more, and you'll see just how much they can do in a day. I did do this last year and I found it really fascinating. I didn't do it every day. I did about 3, I think, over the course of the 2 weeks prior to opening day. But even in those 3 or 4 that I did, you could see the massive progress that they was making, and it was just so interesting to see. So hopefully, as soon as the first things start to arrive, I will be coming hopefully daily. There might be 1 or 2 days that I might miss, but hopefully won't miss too many. So you can join us for that. So press subscribe if you want to see that, and come along with me. So I'm going to show you this Walton Street car park now, and we'll talk a little bit about Hull Fair 2025. Okay, so this is the calm before the build. As you can see, very quiet. Not a lot going on. As I say, there's a tiny little bit going on there. I don't know if that's anything to do with the fair or not. Probably not, but they are making some kind of preparations on the car park for something. But this is how it looks with nothing on it. It's just crazy to think that in just 18 days' time, this will be absolutely packed full of people, full of attractions, full of food, full of lights and sounds, and full of atmosphere. Now, they are expecting over 600,000 people to attend this year's fair. As I said, it does start on the 10th. Friday the 10th of October opens at 5 p.m. until 11 p.m. And then the Saturday, which is the 11th of October, the day after opening day, it opens midday until 11 p.m. The first Sunday on the 12th, for some reason, Hull Fair never opens on that Sunday. That middle Sunday, it never opens. It's not allowed. I think they are looking into changing that for 2026. They did try and get it changed for this year, but they didn't manage to get it all sort of processed in time. But I think they are actually looking at sort of organising it to be allowed to be operating on the Sunday, because they do lose a lot of money, and you know they're here for 8 days, I think, in total. So that one extra day is quite an important day, and they're just not allowed to do trading on that day. However, 2026 might be different, but this year the Sunday is not open. And then the Monday to Friday following that Sunday, it is open 2 p.m. until 11 p.m. And then the final Saturday, it will be open midday until 11 p.m. again. And then basically the pull down begins at 11 p.m. or even before. I think we was here on closing day on the Saturday last year, and by about 8:30, 9 o'clock, you could see some smaller attractions started to pack away and ready to move on. So yeah, that's the opening times for Hull Fair. If you are coming from outside of Hull, there is a couple of park and rides which might be of use to you. They are easily signposted on the way into Hull, but there is one on Henry Boot Way just on the way into Hull, and there's also one at the Humber Bridge car park. And as I say, they are signposted quite well as you're coming into Hull. So they are a good idea because there might be some problems parking. You can get parking around the area, usually in the streets just behind there. There's £5, £7, £8 parking, depending on where you go and what time it is. But you can find places to park. It's usually like unused garage forecourts and things like that. And they just open up for the evening to charge people to park. But the park and ride is a good option if you're coming from outside of Hull. I usually just find somewhere free to park because I just know that there's a couple of spots where I can go where I don't have to pay. I'm as tight as, so I try and find somewhere free to park, and I usually do. But that is really only a sort of local resident knowledge. Like people coming into Hull from outside wouldn't necessarily know where these streets are, and it's very, very, very limited parking for free. So be prepared to pay £5 to £8 probably for parking, or get the park and ride. But it's well worth paying because you get Hull Fair. Doesn't look like much now, it looks like a car park because that's what it is. But give it time, 18 days and counting. So there is a couple of new rides coming this year. Well, there's quite a few new rides I think, but there's a couple of big major ones that are dubbed as the UK's largest travelling funfair rides. There's one called the Big Ben Tower, which is coming direct from Skegness Seafront, which has been there through the summer. There is a video of that on my channel that I did go and have a look at it when it first opened. It was before it actually opened to the public, but I saw the build of it and the location of it and things. So there's the Big Ben Tower, which will be somewhere on this car park, and then there's also the Skyfall. The Skyfall tower, the drop tower, is insane. I did it at the Hoppings in the summer when it was there, and it was absolutely ridiculous. If you want to see what that's like, I will pop the link to that video in the description of this, but that is apparently turning up to Hull this year. So we've got some biggies, and an important piece of information for Hull Fair this year: the Nottingham Goose Fair, which usually overlaps with Hull Fair, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, actually finishes before Hull Fair starts this year. So Nottingham Goose Fair actually runs from this Friday, the 26th of September, until the 5th of October. So with it stopping on the 5th of October, that means any attractions, any rides, any showmen that want to travel from Nottingham Goose Fair and come to the start of Hull Fair on the 10th of October, 5 days later, are able to do so. Whereas in previous years, most other previous years that I know of anyway, they've overlapped. So Nottingham Goose Fair doesn't finish until about 3 or 4 days into Hull Fair's run. Now, with this being the first year that I know of in recent years anyway, where there's been no overlap, that means it's good for both fairs because both fairs can offer a full power lineup. There'll be nobody that'll have to choose one fair or the other. So it's quite good that all the best rides can actually be at both. So people who go to one fair or the other get to experience the best rides and not miss out on anything because it's at the other fair. In previous years, obviously the showmen have had to choose a lot of the time whether they go to Goose Fair or Hull Fair, and both of them are some of Europe's largest fairs. There's 3 fairs that we have in this country that claim to be the largest fair in Europe. There's the Hoppings, which was in June. There's Nottingham Goose Fair, which starts this Friday in Nottingham. And then there's Hull Fair, which starts in 18 days in Hull. So each one of them does say we're the biggest fair in Europe, we're the biggest travelling fair. But I think it's hard to tell because I don't know what criteria they actually use to determine that. But Hull Fair for me, I went to the Hoppings in the summer. I'm probably going to go to the Goose Fair on Friday for opening day, but I'm not 100% sure yet, depending on schedule and stuff. But we will obviously be at Hull Fair on opening day, and for me, Hull Fair is just so much better than the Hoppings was. I don't know about Goose Fair because I've not been, but just the atmosphere, just the layout of it, and just the feel of it, the smells, it's just, Hull Fair was just miles above the Hoppings, and that's just my opinion. It might differ from other people's, but that's that. So I hope you come and join us for opening day, and I do hope you come and join us for this build-up. This was just a quick visit today, just to show you that Hull Fair is on this big car park. I just wanted to come today to show you the beginning, the blank canvas of Hull Fair 2025. And as I say, we will be back, or I will be back in the next few days. As soon as something starts to arrive, I will show you, and then from that point on, I will try and make it every day at roughly the same sort of time, and just show you the progress until opening day. So take it all in now. This might be the last time on this series of Hull Fair vlogs that you'll see it like this. The next time you see it, there will be some attractions. The big wheel will probably arrive soon. That's usually one of the first things to arrive because it takes a long time to build up, and that's usually just at the bottom end there. But this is Walton Street. This is just an open street now. In 18 days, this won't be open to any vehicle access. It'll just be pedestrianised, be bollarded at each end of the road, and this will just be full of food vendors. There will be a few rides, a few little kiddie rides and things down the bottom end over there, and there's loads of prize stalls and things, but all this street is basically just food. And I will this year, as in previous years, do a full food vlog as well, where we don't really enter the fair on one of the days. We just start at that end of Walton Street and just walk all the way down to the very bottom and just show all the food options that are available for Hull Fair that year. And we do try a few as well. I think last year we did try maybe 3 different food vendors, and there was one really nice one. Check last year's video out for the food vlog for Hull Fair 2024 if you want to see what that is. But hopefully it'll come back and we might get another chance. But it's nice to see all the different sort of food options that there is. So I do like doing those food vlogs, just the food tour of Hull Fair. A lot of people come to the fair not just for the rides. A lot of people do come for the food, especially locals. They do enjoy like the traditional bob carvers, which will be here. This will be where Bob Carver's is, because it's just opposite Lowther Street there, and that's where the big skip is for all the trays of chips. So that is it. If you've got any questions about Hull Fair, please do pop them in the comments down below. If you've got anything to add that would be of any interest to people who watch this video, please do pop that in the comments down below. You guys have some awesome facts and bits of information, so it's well worth you guys getting involved in that. But other than that, I will be back hopefully in the next few days. I'll be keeping an eye on it. I'll be checking it regularly myself, and then as soon as I see something arrive, I will be documenting that daily, hopefully. And let's check the build up. Let's check the pull on and build up together. We might even end up and see like some of the bigger rides actually pulling onto the site, which will be interesting to see. I know a lot of people do turn up and with cameras and things and purposely sort of look out for certain rides arriving, which is cool. Like the ride nerds, like the ride spotters, not train spotters, but ride spotters. But that's it, that is Hull Fair, guys. Not much of a fair, but this is the site of Hull Fair. So that is it. I'll end this video here until the next one. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click that subscribe button to follow along with us and come along with us on the full build-up journey for 2025. I will probably try and find a lot more information out for the next sort of few visits that we make in the build-up progress videos. If there's anything that you do want to know, if there's any information that you think that I've missed that is quite important, let me know. And we will see you on the next build-up video, which will be in the next few days. And it might not be much on it, but I do want to show you it from scratch. And then we can see the whole build-up from start to finish. And then, as I say, we'll be here on opening day. So it's all exciting. Hull Fair 2025 is only 18 days away. We're probably 3 or 4 days away from the first build-up video. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you guys on that one. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.